Bullies taunt, not just with insults and threats, but with shaming and blaming. They moralize, weaponizing morality. They get on their moral high horse and scold when it serves them. They blare their moralizing police sirens at others to distract from their own behavior. It's not just them, we all do it in a pinch. Whenever we feel threatened, we're likely to forget that we do what we're accusing others of doing. These days, people feel threatened. Moralizing is on the rise. Here's how to wise up about it. Loaded terms are the moralizer's weapons. A loaded term has strong positive or negative connotations. Kind sounds good. If you're called kind, you'd take it as a compliment. Unkind sounds bad. If you're called unkind, you'd take it as criticism. Connotations aside, what does kindness really mean? It's debatable, but probably accommodating others. But it's interesting how little debate there is about it. That's how it is with these loaded terms. The positive or negative connotations dominate, which is how moralizers use them for domination. They call you kind if you accommodate them and mean if you don't. To them, morality is getting whatever they want. Now, if you want to build immunity to such loaded word bullying, here are some exercises. Though with a warning, if you moralize, these will weaken your power to bully others. Counter attribution. You'll find a lot of these loaded terms in memes and cliches. For example, always be kind, which sounds positive, or don't be judgmental, which sounds negative. You might like a meme like that from a friend or ally, but try attributing it to an enemy or rival. Imagine someone you find truly evil saying, "Be kind and don't judge me." It's easier to spot the moralizing from rivals than from allies, even if it's the same moralizing. One exception. A loaded term implies a universal rule. Judging is bad, so never judge, which makes don't judge redundant. The negative connotation already means don't. Is don't judge a universal rule? Sure, you can think of times when you shouldn't judge. Still, if you can find even one exception, it's not universal. Is it wrong to judge a violent criminal as wrong? Should there be no judges in our legal system? Load flipping. Moralizers have an arsenal of terms loaded in opposite directions. They whip out the opposites on demand, making the same behavior moral or immoral depending on what they want. Steadfast sounds positive and pig-headed sounds negative. Both mean sticking to something. The only difference is preference. A moralizer will call it steadfast if they like it and pig-headed if they don't. To inoculate yourself against it, get good at flipping connotations. If someone calls you pig-headed or stubborn, pair it with steadfast or loyal. If someone calls you steadfast or loyal, pair it with pig-headed or stubborn. That way you'll get your mind back from their moralizing so you can decide for yourself whether to stick with what you're doing. Line drawing. Moralizers will often say things like, pig-headed and stubborn are totally different, apples and oranges. If you ask them the difference, they'll just pile on more loaded terms. Pig-headed is stubborn and closed-minded, bad. Dedicated is principled and loyal, good. To expose their false distinction, ask them what instructions they would give a stranger to distinguish between pig-headed and dedicated. If they can't come up with a neutral, objective, descriptive distinction, chances are the only difference is that they are loaded in opposite directions. Moron, moralizing. Loaded terms imply that you can never have too much or too little of some behavior. Kindness is always good, so pile more and more on. Judgment is always bad, so zero tolerance. So long as the terms are ill-defined, it's easy to give such moronic, moralizing lip service. To counter this moronic assumption that you can and should turn kindness to infinity, imagine what would happen if you did. For example, he who is without sin, let him cast the first stone, taken to the extreme, would mean no court justices, since nobody's perfect. Paradoxes. The loaded terms, when applied to themselves, are usually self-contradictory. Intolerance, negativity, and judgment have bad connotations. So be intolerant of intolerance. Say no to negativity. You shouldn't be judgmental. Noticing such contradictions helps you recognize the real burden that morality entails, cultivating the wisdom to notice the differences that make a difference in what you should tolerate, when to say no, when to judge. Always throw. If someone said always throw, you'd ask, throw what? Verbs like throw require an object. With other verbs, objects are optional. You can say love children or just love. Moralizers exploit the open-ended vagueness of loaded terms, so it's useful to demand an object. When someone says love, think love what? Terrorists? In other words, be careful where you point that thing. Winding road equanimity. True morality isn't moronic. It stays alert to opposite threats. One could be too tolerant or intolerant, too kind or not kind enough, too judgmental or not judgmental enough, too assertive or not assertive enough. True morality is like driving a winding road in the dark, watching out for threats on both sides of the road, weaving left and right depending on the bend. Moralizers are like backseat drivers looking out only one of the two side windows, nagging you to only pay attention to whatever side they happen to be on, even if it means risking threats on the opposite side. If they're nagging you to always be kind and never judgmental, keep this inoculation in mind. I'm not trying to be kind or unjudgmental. I'm trying to figure out where to be kind and judgmental. The equanimity that true morality seeks is being equally alert to opposite excesses.